welcome back to the channel. This is a story time of how I recently almost bought a Rolex Submariner, but decided to put the equivalent value in Bitcoin instead. This might be a huge mistake. This might be a laughable story to look back on in a couple years from now, or it could be one of the best things I've ever done. And I just real quick, I'm going to leave an affiliate link for this in the description below. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but this is a very cheap, like $29 Canadian watch that I bought instead. I don't know why the hell I didn't buy a watch sooner, man. Holy crap. Just a side note, I love putting it on in the morning, having something to wear. It's just really cool. I've been meaning to buy a piece of jewelry for a long time. So to have something really quick, easy, simple like this was awesome. But I want to talk about why I did what I did. I've been eyeing, you have no idea how long I've been eyeing a Rolex Submariner for. I had a buddy, shout out Nigel, who texted me recently because he heard it in the gaming channel. I kind of hinted at this video on the gaming channel saying, hey, I did this. I'll talk about this in the car channel. He's like, should have bought the Rolex, like winky face. But he knows since 2019 when him and I started working together, like, dude, I've been wanting this watch for so long. I looked at it all the time. I went into a authorized dealer last February because I hit a milestone within my business, and that's when I wanted to buy one. And he's like, you know, we love celebrating milestones and whatnot, but there is a lot of like political games that you have to play in order to get a Rolex at retail. And I wasn't, you know, going on the gray market. I was so against it for the longest time. And then I found this one in BC on Chrono 24, which was really, really cool. And it was very well priced. I think it was a 2023. And I was like, I'm gonna buy this. Like, this is really nice. I've been wanting to buy one for a while. Let's just screw it. Let's just pull the trigger. And then I shit you not, probably a day, maybe 2 days. This is recently, Brian Moncada, shout out. I'll put the screenshot up of the video that I saw. He's like, why I'm selling my Rolex to buy more Bitcoin. And I'm like, okay, well, come on, like, click, like, this is a great thumbnail, it's a great title, like, let me see what this is. And I watched the whole thing front to back, and I was like, damn, like, okay, he's got a pretty strong thesis here. And then either the same week or whatnot, I've been following this fitness guy for over a decade. Gregory O'Gallagher says, I'm all in on Bitcoin. I'm all for fancy toys and all for fancy stuff, but he's like offloaded a ton of his watches. I think he's thinking of selling his really nice Benz and just keeping like one nice car, one nice watch, and literally every other liquid dollar that he has is going right into Bitcoin. So when I heard this, I'm like, dude, like, what am I doing? Like, I might have to take a serious look at this. So when this occurred, when this happened, I'm like, well, let's do some research. And there was, I bought my first piece of Bitcoin in 2017, okay, as a freaking joke. And that's another video I'm gonna maybe make on this channel. I'm for sure gonna make it on the BizPath channel, but that's why I should have added just 2 more zeros. When I had the money, I jokingly bought with a buddy of mine $10 worth of Bitcoin in 2017. It's now worth, it's done like 8.5x or 9x or something stupid. And I was just like, oh my God, I literally had like 6-7 grand in my name. If I threw even half of that into Bitcoin at that time, I'd be sitting on a really nice chunk of change right now, because I bought it at like 16,000 a coin. I bought this 10,000 or 10 bucks worth. Anyways, side note, I went very deep down the rabbit hole that weekend researching Bitcoin and just like doing as much research as I can. And there's going to be bozos who say, oh, you don't understand it, you don't get it, you shouldn't be buying it. It's like, okay, dude, like, sounds good. Do you know how a car works? Do you know how the engineering of a car works? Do you know how a building is engineered, but you still live in one? It's like, come on, if we lived by that stupid fucking idea, we'd all be cavemen still, okay? Like, come on. I'm not saying I'm inventing here. I don't need to know what is going on with the car or what with the coins and whatnot, and just crypto in general, but Bitcoin has me very interested lately. Just with the dollar itself, there's some people saying it's not a hedge, it is a hedge, limited currency, limited production, all this kind of stuff, and I get all of it, but I have my own kind of 5, I guess I thought it was 4, but I guess I do have 5 solid points here on why I did this. And I think the main one is long-term value growth. Like, this is, historically, I've been like very deep researching the CAGR, like how much is the compounded annual growth rate of Bitcoin specifically. And it is insane right now. It is kind of nuts, to be honest, of how crazy it's been. Now, how sustainable is that? I don't know. But I'm even happy, dude, with a 15 to 20%. If I can get a 15 to 20% annual return, that is amazing. That is absolutely like lovely to me. I will happily take that trade any day of the week. So when I see this growth, I'm like, holy shit, like, and there's still room to go. I mean, there's predictions saying $500 to $1 million a coin, $500,000 to $1 million per coin. Now, I'm not saying I need it to reach that level. I don't know if it can even reach that level, but if it even like slightly touches that, dude, that's life-changing money for me. So I'm starting to throw a lot more of my profits, my business profits specifically, into Bitcoin itself. And maybe I'll throw up the screenshot of even the order that I placed, but I've heard through the grapevine that it's a very silly idea to talk about how much Bitcoin you have. So I'm probably going to keep that very, very low key until maybe a long time from now. But right now I'm focused on collecting as much Bitcoin as I possibly can in this current moment. So that was my first main point. Second, 24/7 liquidity. If you followed this channel for a long time, you know how fucking big I am on liquidity, guys. I like being able to wake up, see my net worth down to the penny, no matter what. I'm not saying I'm ever going to not get into real estate. For example, I've been looking at some triple net properties recently, which would be really, really cool to get into. Triple net is basically, I'm not going to go into it. If you want to search up to it, go ahead and look, but that's the only type of real estate that I'm looking at right now. But everything else, I like to stay liquid, right? I like to be able to, if I needed to, in an emergency case, sell, get out of everything in a couple of days, and boom, Bob's your uncle, we're good. So anyways, I like that factor. Rolex is obviously going to hold its value very well, I think, hopefully, but dude, it's not guaranteed and it's not liquid. If I ever want to sell the damn thing or get the money out, it's going to be a little bit trickier, right? You have to understand that. So that's kind of where I'm at liquidity wise, why I like it so much. That's why I'm so big in the S&P and the stock market in general, but this kind of adds to that as well. Point 3 is it is digital and future proof, right? This is where like the decentralized future, exchange kind of the piece really works through there. And it is true, bro. Like it is very, very true, where things are getting a little bit weird with governments, with everything having control, everybody having some level of control here, but you don't necessarily need that. And I think that's something that is very interesting to me, of everything being decentralized, everything not being traceable. Now, I do see the government getting into this damn thing heavy. Unfortunately, that's just gonna be how it is. But even then, it's still really fucking interesting to me. Let's see if I can make this nice and simple there. Perfect. But that's a big point to me. That's something I'm very, very interested in. I don't think a lot of people talk about enough, and I think it's huge. I guess the fourth point here we're on is full ownership and control. This is another thing that I like, and I'm looking at a Trezor specifically, a Trezor wallet specifically, and it's so cool that you can travel with these keys. You don't need a brokerage account technically. I mean, you do to buy, but once you take it off the exchange, it's yours. It's 100% owned. Nobody else controls it, and that is something that is so interesting to me, and it's piqued my curiosity, if you will, on this thing big time. And it's something that I don't think enough people take seriously enough. So it's just, I don't know, that was a big thing for me, was being, fully owned, full ownership, no, hands in the pot from any weirdos, nothing like that. It's all mine. That was really fucking cool to me. So that's kind of the main factor here. The fifth one, and this is the most controversial arguably, is depreciation. Like, is this thing ever going to depreciate? Probably not. I would hope. There is a serious chance of a 30 to 50, maybe eventually 100% downturn, like just down markets in general. That will happen. That could very well be the case. Now, do I hope it happens? Absolutely not. But I just think that there is a lot of volatility right now, but I would love for this thing to get to a point where it is, eventually going to be able to, trying to get past this damn guy, man. This is a busy ass intersection. We got this old boat of a fucking car coming through now. Are we able to do this? Yes, we are. Okay, of course. CAD timing in real fucking life here, fellas. Come on. Anyways, and now we got this guy turning. Do not hit the yellow. Do not hit the yellow. Beautiful. Anyways, this guy just honking me. What I was saying about this watch real quick. Guys, the lady specifically, all right, I got one. She absolutely loves this damn thing. And it's like just something as simple as a nice piece on your wrist, cheap or expensive, it doesn't matter. Women love watches. I think that's something that I didn't really understand. She didn't really understand, but she keeps hinting at me like, you look a lot sexier with the watch on. And I was like, really? It's really just going right into my little emotions there. So highly recommend any of my fellas listening to this and don't have a watch. This is a really nice piece. I know I'm kind of making a joke out of it here, but I'm dead serious. Best $29 I've spent in a while. That's Canadian too, fellas. This is probably like 15 to 20 bucks USD. So anyways, before I get too out of hand, I don't want to get too deep into this video. I just want to tell a quick story. It's really not that serious, but I am loading the fuck up on Bitcoin. Not opposed to other, currencies, looking at ETH, looking at Sol, looking at a couple, others, but I just like Bitcoin for now, for the foreseeable future. That's what I'm going to be focused on. So wanted to make a video on it. If you guys have any questions, leave the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you're investing in, because I'm always curious on that. And we will see you in the next one. As always, made it this far, I want to see you in.